me ask you a question. Do you know exactly what you're doing correctly in a selling situation? And at the same time, do you know some of the mistakes that you're making right now? One of the challenges that salespeople face is that prospects don't tell us when we're screwing up. So we don't know what we're doing well and what we're sometimes doing that's actually repelling prospects away from us. It's causing them to end the sale in their head, but we don't ever know that it's happening. In this video, I'm going to show you the 9 biggest sales mistakes to avoid at all costs. Check it out. Number 1, doing what they expect. Take a second to put yourself in the shoes of your prospect. How many salespeople do you think they're meeting with on a regular basis? It's quite a few. And what's amazing is that most salespeople are doing the same thing that everyone else is doing, showing up all over them, pitching, throwing up all of their information, being really charming and funny and silly. The problem is that because everyone's doing this, it actually makes that behavior appear low value. What we want to start to do is avoid doing anything that they expect. If they are expecting us to do something, that's a mistake that we're making. We cannot be doing what they expect. Number 2, pitching. Most salespeople have been taught that when they get in front of what they believe is a qualified prospect, and that's of course a pretty low bar, but they believe that they need to be pitching that prospect. I mean, just think about it. We hear this all the time. Give me your best pitch. What's your pitch? And most salespeople go into this tap dance mode where they throw up all of their information all over the prospect. And prospects are so used to this. And at the same time, we shouldn't be pitching to everyone. What we should be doing is engaging prospects in a conversation to understand what's really going on and determine whether there's a fit. And then ultimately down the road, we would give a presentation that's customized to the challenges that they have. But we need to stop that pitch right away. Number 3, being excited. Hey, let me show you all of the reasons that you absolutely need to do business with me because we have the best service, we've got the best products, everything that we do is amazing. Many of us were taught to show high levels of enthusiasm, high levels of excitement about our product or our service. It's supposed to somehow show the prospect that we really believe in what we're selling. But again, the problem is that most salespeople are doing some version of the ridiculous thing that I just showed you. We need to lower the tempo. We don't need to be excited about our product or our service, at least openly. I mean, obviously on the inside, hopefully you like what you're selling. What we need to do is we need to be focused on the prospect and what they care about and matching what they care about with what it is that we have to offer. Drop that excitement, drop that enthusiasm. Instead, be a real person. That's going to connect with prospects so much more than that high energy salesperson, right? Just lower that tempo. Number 4, persuading. Now, if you go onto Amazon right now and you type in the word persuasion, there are millions of books all focused on persuasion techniques, persuasion tactics. The problem is that sales is not about persuading people. And I know that goes counter to what most of us have been taught, but what we really want to do is rather than trying to persuade anyone that's in front of us, we want to take a step back and really understand what is most important to them, understand what are those biggest challenges, and determine whether their challenges and their needs align with what it is that we have to offer. So there's no need to be doing persuading. Instead, what we want to be doing actually up front is mostly disqualifying prospects that are not a good fit. So that way, by the time we get to that presentation, we're only presenting, we're only giving that proposal to prospects that really are truly qualified. Number 5, talking for more than 60 seconds straight. This is one of the most common mistakes that I see salespeople making all the time. We get excited about what it is we're talking about, we feel like we're on a roll, and we just keep on going and going and going and going. The problem is that the data shows that prospects start to tune us out after close to 60 seconds. It's actually a little bit less. And in fact, the data is really strong about the fact that top performing salespeople never are going for more than 72 seconds ever. And so my biggest takeaway from that is never be talking and talking and talking for more than 60 seconds straight without at least engaging them back into the conversation. Just suck them back in. Even if you have an important point that you need to make and it takes a little bit more time to say, break it up with something that sounds a little bit like, hey, so does that make sense? Or do you see exactly what I'm saying here? Bringing them back into the conversation. Number 6, closing. Now, I know this goes counter to what so many of us have been taught. So many of us have been taught that we need to be closing. Never take no for an answer. Always close that sale. But that's such an old school mentality. Modern selling is not about closing, but it's about taking prospects through a process that is going to both determine whether they're a fit and create value in that process. So that way at the end, the only question we ever have to ask is, well, what would you like to do next? And if you've done a good job up until then, they're going to lay out for you exactly what needs to be done in order to close the sale. There is no hardcore arm wrestling closing technique. It's simply taking them through a process that is showing value, and ultimately it's naturally going to close the sale. The prospect does the closing. You don't have to be doing the closing. Number 7, needing the sale. Now, this is such a common mistake that so many salespeople make, particularly when they're in a slump or when they're newer. And we've all been there at some point, right? Have you ever been in that position where you had to close the sale just in order to pay your rent or to pay your mortgage? I've been there, and I'm sure you have too. The thing is, though, is that when you need a sale, immediately the prospect can feel it. It's like it just oozes out of you, and they feel it immediately. The second you need to close a sale, they are going to feel guarded. Never show that you need a sale. In fact, mentally, even if you're saying, if I don't close the sale, I'm not paying rent, you've got to mentally take that pressure off of you. Never need to close the sale because it is going to immediately make you lower value. It's going to make you weaker. You need to be strong, and the only way you're strong is if in your head you're saying to yourself, I am financially independent and I do not need this sale. Number 8, following up. Now, I'm sure some people are saying, what? Following up is a mistake? Yes, it is a huge mistake, and here's why. So often salespeople will be in a selling situation and then they will let the prospect get away, however that happens, ends the call, ends the meeting, and then it's following up in a week at some nondescript time. This is such a problem. Instead, what we want to do is always have clear and scheduled next steps. So that way, at the end of every selling interaction, you are always scheduling a next step. Always. I don't care if you're scheduling a next step for 6 months down the road. You never, assuming someone's qualified, you never just let them go away and say, okay, well, I'll check in with you in a week or two. We always have a scheduled next step. You should never be following up with a prospect. Always schedule a next step. And by the way, if they're unwilling to schedule that next step, it probably means that you're in trouble. So never be following up. Always just have that clear and scheduled next step. Number 9, letting them get back to you. I feel like number 8, the one right before this, pretty much laid the groundwork here. But if you are ever in a situation where you're waiting for the prospect to actually get back to you, you're in trouble. Never, ever, ever let them get back to you. Always keep control of the selling interaction. Even if they say, oh yeah, this sounds great. How about I get back to you in a week and I'll tell you exactly what we're going to do. Never accept that. The response always is something like, oh, you know what, I really appreciate that, but you know what, just to avoid the back and forth, would it make sense to just schedule a call right now for a week down the road where we can just avoid that back and forth and, you know, you get busy, I get busy, and then we never get back on the same page? 9 out of 10 times they're going to say, oh yeah, of course. Never let them get back to you. Always be in control of the situation and always have that clear and scheduled next step. So there are the 9 biggest sales mistakes to avoid at all costs. And if you enjoyed this video, then have an awesome free online training on the data-driven approach to help you crush your sales. Just click right here to get registered instantly. Seriously, just click right here. This is an in-depth training that will help you close more sales at higher prices, all while generating more meetings. Also, if you got some value, please like this video below on YouTube and be sure to subscribe to my channel by clicking my face right here to get access to a new video just like this one each week.